Hello, fabulous superstar Gemini. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of October 2024. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a remarkable astrological month, without a doubt. Big moves happening in the sky now. Boy, is it a very special time, and it truly is so special now. On the 2nd of the month, we have got a solar eclipse set to take place. This solar eclipse is happening in a heart-oriented part of the sky for you. And it has to do with an awakening around what it is that may need to happen, you may need to do to live a life that you love that much more. The eclipse is square Mars, which means there's an energy here of some frustration, but also urgency for what it is that you desire to be different. Mars is in a financial part of your sky. And so one way this energy might work out is that there's something really fun that you really want to do, and you're trying to figure out the finances to make it come together for you. That's one possibility here. But another possibility is that your fertility might take you very much by surprise. It doesn't necessarily have to be that way. Of course, there are things you can do so that doesn't manifest in that way. Outside of that, creative endeavors, you feeling very focused on trying to take something that you have accomplished or done or completed, and in order to really have it push forward so that it's able to either be presented to more people, shared with more people, or be part of your larger success, something that you are counting on, taking a risk with, or banking on in some way. This is a part of the sky that has to do with gambling and risk taking. I would be very careful with that. I mean, squares of Mars, yeah, they bring with them a lot of motivation, but not necessarily the kind of ease that we would ideally like to see that would support something like lottery winnings, for example. However, where you're using this energy to take a calculated risk, you might find yourself with just as much force as you need to feel as if you're able to take what you're doing and have it just reach over the top towards a sense of achievement that matters to you. The children in your life might come into focus now. There might be a determination to spend more time with the children in your life at this moment as well. As we move forward, the 9th and the 12th of the month hold some really important energies. On the 9th, Jupiter goes retrograde. On the 12th, Pluto goes direct. So Jupiter is in your sign. You get about a year every 12 years or so of Jupiter moving through your sign. And when that takes place, it's a time of the universe wanting to put you on a brand new path towards greater blessings, and towards a more optimistic understanding of whom it is that you are, what your potential is, and what it is that matters to you most and matters to you first. It is the energy of possibility that's very much with you now. When a planet is changing directions, it is that much more heightened in its symbolism. It's closer to the earth than it might otherwise be. And the fact that Jupiter standing still and then going retrograde invites you to own this energy that much more, to take it in, to reflect, and to really understand yourself as the source of all wonderful things and happenings in your life. It's an opportunity for you to connect that much more powerfully to a more hopeful vision of whom it is you hope to be and all it is that maybe you want, whether it's you want to achieve or you want to experience or you want to be in, whether it's energetic spaces or roles that you might want to play that you identify with very strongly. Just what changes are actually worth embracing, are truly reflective of you. That just might be part of the clarity that you reach in some way now. Overall, though, this is considered fortunate. Having Jupiter in your sign does suggest a year of good fortune. We have had Jupiter in your sign going all the way back to the last days of May, but this is one of the important peak moments of this larger time frame, where you get a chance to look that much more deeply at what healing energy coming in and a depth of appreciation of yourself, how that heals identity and how that opens up an awareness of the potential of all the beginnings that have yet to take place and the excitement you can have for that. Well, all of that could stir very strongly for you. You do have a Midas touch with you right around the 9th. You may want to use that well towards whatever it is that you are hoping to cultivate more of in your life. On the 12th, we get Pluto direct. And this is important because since 2008, you've had Pluto slowly but surely moving through a part of the sky for you that has to do with change, truth, transformation, and it has to do with your relationship to financial institutions. So it's things like grants, loans, bursaries, scholarships, benefits you qualify for. As Pluto stands still now, it is a moment of development, a moment of honesty, a depth of appreciation within you. But it's a moment of transformation, really. And it's rooted in being more honest with yourself at the very least. Truth stirring includes the complexities of your own emotions and your own desires and what you're feeling in all kinds of ways and directed towards many different areas of life. This is Pluto at the height of its power, but there's something here that's incredibly important, and that is this is the last time you're going to have Pluto station at the height of its power. That's the third time I think I'm saying that, but yeah, at the height of its power for the rest of your life in this area of your life. It's going to be in November that Pluto will leave this part of the sky, not to return in your lifetime. It'll be over 2 centuries before Pluto comes back around here. Pluto will move on and be in fellow air sign Aquarius for the next 20 years. I've been talking to you about this. I know that the Decade horoscope that I published years and years ago here on my channel and other videos as well. So yeah, this is a really big deal of an energy, not just because of where we're heading, but also what now feels like it comes to culmination. And this is an incredibly important moment of truth for yourself and within yourself. To understand something about the power that resides within, to understand something about what you owe to yourself, but to others, and where some of those equations work for you and where they no longer do. It's a chance to look at what power is for you and where perhaps you've bought into some false notions of power and that just isn't it for you anymore. In its highest sense, this part of the sky has to do with authenticity. And this is a big moment of truth as to where it is perhaps you've compromised your authenticity in key ways. And that is something that you're no longer willing to do. Well, that could facilitate some profound changes in your life now. On the 17th of the month, we have this month's full moon. The full moon happens in a friendship part of your sky. It is speaking in a conversation of tension with Mars. It is hand in hand with Chiron. That Chiron energy means there's a lot of vulnerability here. Full moons bring emotional truths to the surface. They bring developments that feel like they lend themselves to a culmination. But this is also an awareness around how other people might have and might are feeling frustrating to you in some way. If you've had resentment, if you've been holding on to resentment, that could stir for you now. Remember, Mars is also square the eclipse that happens at the beginning of the month. Mars is in a financial part of your sky. And again, money may come into focus around this energy, but it's more like friends and money don't mix or is part of the frustration for you in some way. But for all that, we have here energy that says you're seeing your alliances differently. You're seeing your friendships differently, the group dynamics you found yourself in, and you're considering what works for you and what no longer is working for you as well within particular alliances in your life. It's one thing to be vulnerable. It's a beautiful thing to allow yourself to be seen, to show something within you. It is a whole other thing to accept treatment that leaves you feeling as if there's some trust lost in some way, or that you can't trust a particular person, especially where it is that there are deeper sensitivities at play. So pace yourself at this time. All of these energies stir that much strongly if you are attending any kind of social events under the light of this full moon. At the same time, though, you want to trust whatever it is that comes forward for you. It's going to feel very much on the surface. And yes, there may be a moment of vulnerability. And yet it is about you realizing how much strength is within you now. And also about which friendships actually matter and which ones no longer do. If you want what's real, sometimes you have to see what no longer works as part of moving forward towards stronger alliances than you knew before. Where it comes to matters of love, there are a couple of layers to take into consideration here. One is that eclipse energy in a heart-oriented part of the sky. That, in addition to what I spoke of, speaks to romance, flirtation, and what you need to feel loved. On the 17th of the month, Venus moves into your opposite sign and is going to be in there right into next month. And this does represent a time when the alliances you have feel that much sweeter and lighter. For those of you open to meeting someone new, that eclipse is going to be really powerful. I think there are going to be flirtations, and at least one that stands out for how it is that it makes you aware of what you might be wanting in love in some way. Love and money don't mix at this time. You do want to be aware of that. And yet, for all that, this is an opportunity for you to enjoy yourself, to learn a lot about yourself as you are meeting new people. Once it is that Venus changes signs, it becomes that much easier to attract people into your life who hold real long-term potential. For those of you just starting to date someone, well, look, eclipses tend to be very all or nothing. And where the eclipse is this month is a part of the sky that also has to do with dating itself. And so it is possible that you're able to look at some frustration in terms of how you really feel about this person, whether or not you feel there's potential here. You'll know your answers in a split second as to whether or not this is someone to navigate forward with. Outside of that, though, and especially once we get to the middle of the month and Venus changes signs, if you're still dating this person, Venus moving into your opposite sign gives you a chance to start moving towards, like very organically, towards a sense of partnership. If it is that you realize this is not the one for you, there's enough faith and love to go another way. And for those of you in an established bond, the energy of the eclipse is more about an awakening of heart and what you need to feel loved. And in some way, you and your partner may feel yourselves communicating that more clearly. And it helps the two of you clear the air, if you will, so that you're able to connect more often on that heart level. Once Venus moves into your opposite sign, that's when it can feel like your partner is that much sweeter and lighter and bringing that much more energy that helps you to feel closer to them. A very small percentage of Geminis out there, if you have felt for a while that maybe you're not in the right relationship for you, that eclipse energy might bring with it some flirtation, however innocent it might be, that shows you something about what you really feel and what you're really wanting. Venus moving into your opposite sign will either have you feeling faith in the relationship itself enough to continue going, or faith in love itself as a larger principle enough to start considering what going another way could be for you. What I love about this month for you, there's so much here. It is a powerful and meaningful astrological moment. I'm going to say I love the energy of, well, the eclipse energy. Eclipses tend to be very karmic and very powerful. They can take us off one path and put us on a whole other path, sometimes seemingly out of nowhere. And this is an eclipse in a heart-oriented part of the sky for you that gets you very honest about what you want in your heart of hearts in every area of life. That clarity brings with it real motivation to take steps to live that truth you uncover that much more. Well, thank you so much for watching. You can get a video like this each and every week for each and every sign for as low as just $3 a month with Choose Your Membership rate. Higher tiers get you things like all access passes to Synchronicity University events, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the superstar space at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. Links are in the description below. Thank you again for watching. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.